Hey, what is going on, guys? Boy Trent's back in video. Today we're here at Global Field, home of the Texas Rangers, and today we are doing a stadium tour. The stadium tour does start here in about 20 minutes. Also today as well too, there actually is a baseball game. The Rangers do play the Diamondbacks here in about 4 hours. Also, just kind of a heads up, the game vlog video will be a separate video, but today's video is just a stadium tour. So we do have the Dallas Cowboys right across from us. Got several hotels, restaurants, and other attractions in this area as well too. Actually, right over here, this is the old Texas Ranger Stadium, and behind the Ranger Stadium is actually Six Flags. Okay, so the tour does start here in about 15 minutes, but peeps, look at this view. The view up here, it is amazing. It's breathtaking. I know this is kind of weird to see a roof on a stadium, especially in baseball, but the Rangers do have a roof at the top.
Shoes are tied, they won't eat your shoe. Shoestrings feed our escalators. Please make sure your shoestrings are tied. I was supposed to go up the other escalator, so I'm throwing us another break in the process. So everybody will go back to the But in 2020, we did host the World Series and the National League South playoffs. So Corey Seager's run through the playoffs in 2020 with the Dodgers all took place here in Arlington. So he won the World Series. So these seats are available.
Oh yeah, these are nice here. Rocking chairs are nice.
Okay, so I'm not sure how much the tickets cost up here, but you do have to admit the view from the very top, it is a very nice view of the stadium. Okay, so next up, we're about to see the room of the guy who calls the games for the Texas Rangers. That is Mr. Chuck Morgan. Interesting fact, he's been calling Texas Rangers games for the past 46 seasons. And outside of his office, and also in his office as well too, has all kind of cool signed merchandise, t-shirts, jerseys, balls, has a pretty cool bobblehead collection as well too. Pretty much you name it, it is inside his office or just right outside of his office. Also, this is right behind the home plate as well too, so it is a pretty good view for Mr. Chuck himself. But here's another part of his pretty cool Texas Rangers collection. Next up on the tour, we are right behind home plate. How you know that? Well, just look at the wall. Pretty cool lit up wall above us.
Right behind you, you'll see our timeline.
So the Texas Rangers do have a couple of these walls inside their stadium, and basically these walls are just kind of pretty interesting information about the Texas Rangers throughout the years. So of course you see some nachos here. Pretty interesting fact. They were the first MLB stadium to ever sell nachos. I had no idea about that. That is something I learned today on the tour. But also some pretty cool other information up here as well too.
Between section 9 and 19, you get to So for those in sections 13 and 14, they have access to this club. It's kind of a throwback to the Prohibition era speakeasy that actually Arlington had a history in. So it's actually the place that this is modeled after is actually now on the current location of Arlington Baptist University, ironically. So we'll slide in here and take a look. Back behind me over here, you'll see our Don't Mess with Texas wall with some of the more violent things that have happened in Rangers history, including that Ventura fight, as well as Nolan when he got hit by a ball that bounced off the ground from Bo Jackson's bat. It's supposed to be popped up right
Okay, so I got to talk about this picture on the left for sure. So kind of a pretty interesting story. So this picture here was from the first sold-out game ever in Rangers history. Now, I believe the guy said this is back in like the 60s or 70s. It could have been before that. But that is the first sold-out crowd ever at a Rangers game over 50 years ago. This is kind of pretty cool. So, of course, this is Mr. Nolan Ryan, one of the most famous pitchers of all time. But this is a time lapse of his 5,000 career strikeouts. Pretty cool time lapse. And then on the other side here, I know you can barely see it, but the Rangers put all the names of every guy Nolan Ryan struck out. Okay, so that was pretty much it for the tour. The tour didn't really last too long, but now we get to watch part of the Rangers batting practice. We get to sit on the first two rows behind the Texas Rangers dugout. Also, I do want to mention this as well too. So if you come on a day that they're doing a giveaway, you will receive the promotional giveaway of that day.
Yeah, thank you.
So today's giveaway is a bobblehead. And we got a free bobblehead just for attending this stadium tour. This is pretty cool. This is the right fielder, Mr. Adolis Garcia. And now we do have some Rangers taking some BP. Also, I will mention this as well too. Some of the players do sign autographs. To be honest with you, most of them don't. There's only like 2 or 3 of them that actually stop and send autographs for the kids. But if you do one of these stadium tours, there is a small possibility you may meet a couple other players. And even the ones that did sign, they only sign just 1 or 2 items per kid. None of them sit there and sign 20 items for each kid. But there was a couple of them that were nice enough to sign a few items for the fans. It is kind of pretty cool. You get to watch some of these players warm up right in front of you. So down here, you do have pretty much all the players. You do have the pitchers, and you also have the infielders and outfielders all out here together warming up before the game. Okay, so story time. We just had something pretty interesting happen at our stadium tour, and this is something the Rangers are very, very strict on. fans are not allowed up here on top of the dugouts. If you get up here and try and get pictures or autographs taken with the players, you will be thrown out. So we had a fan do this the first time. He got the warning. The second time, he got up here again on top of the dugout trying to get autographs and pictures with the players. And security, they're not messing around. They threw him out, and security escorted this fan out because he got on top of the dugout and he did it twice. So just kind of a heads up. Oh yeah, bobblehead situations. Adolis Garcia bobblehead. Oh yeah, this thing's looking nice. Looking very nice. Okay, that is it for the tour. So now my final thoughts on the Texas Rangers Stadium tour. Now, I do want to say this. Now, the Rangers, I do offer several different types of tours. The one I did was the 90-minute pregame tour. Now, the cost on this was $50 per person. And actually, to be honest with you, after taxes and fees, actually ended up being over $60 a person. So on this tour, it was just me and my dad. And the cost on this for two people, this was two adults here, the cost on this was $127. So yes, this tour, it's not cheap. There is a couple other cheaper options you can choose from, but on those cheaper options, you can't see and can't do quite as much. Some of those tours also, you're not guaranteed a promotional item as well too, just kind of a heads up. But yeah, overall, I mean, the actual tour itself only lasted like 35 minutes, if that one, to be honest with you. And then basically the other half was just batting practice. And most of the areas we checked out in this tour were spots open to the public. Most of this stuff was not really private areas or only available just to some people. The places we checked out today were spots basically any fan could check out. So I did a Braves tour like 7 months ago. The Braves tour was 3 times better than this one. I enjoyed that one a lot more as well too. I'm also on my tour guide today. I know you can't really see what will happen today with that situation, but basically, one story short, our tour guide was kind of a new tour guide, and you could tell there was some parts he knew a lot about, some parts he didn't really know much about, to be honest with you. So some things he was very informative, some parts he wasn't so much. So I saw other reviews as well too. It looked like the Rangers have some good tour guides, some of them not quite as good. So just kind of overall kind of got mixed feelings on this. I've had better stadium tours in the past, other stadiums, but that's pretty much my thoughts on this. I don't think it's worth this much money. I'm not saying not to do this, but I will say over $60 a person for this is a little too expensive in my opinion. But that's pretty much my thoughts on this tour. What are y'all's thoughts on this tour as well too? If you have done this tour, or if you never have done this tour. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. So if you can, just leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Would be greatly appreciated. See you guys next video. Have a good one. I'm out.